So this slide brings me to the central idea behind this presentation. And in order to understand why the idea of SharePoint as an application development platform is so powerful, it is often helpful to look at it from a perspective of an idea called the composite application pattern. And composite applications, of course, is not limited to SharePoint. It is a platform or a technology agnostic idea. And the idea is that you can reuse existing assets within your organization, combine it with new logic to create something that is larger than the sum of the individual parts. So the benefits that you get from a composite application are the following. So you get to reuse existing assets, as I said earlier. You get to integrate and aggregate existing services that your organization may have. You're able to incrementally add value and contrast this to a more waterfall style of development where you're going through a deliberate requirements gathering, design, and construction phase. And today's users are looking for a more incremental approach for getting access to new capability so that they can provide feedback early and often. And of course, last but not the least is the user empowerment. So today's users are not content with having IT provision resources for them, assign permissions, make changes. These users are looking to perform many of these actions themselves in a more agile manner. So these are some of the benefits that you would get from a composite application. But what is interesting about this is that composite applications cannot happen in vacuum. You need a composite solutions platform to be able to take advantage of these benefits. And what would a composite solution platform look like? What would be the key ingredients of such a platform? Let's just look at that. And the first key ingredient is that the platform should support a notion of a component and a container. It should be able to define some semantics which allow these components to talk to each other or exist within a container. It should also allow some kind of a composition experience that allows the developers and also the business users to combine these components. And then I talked about the user empowerment in the previous slide. User empowerment goes hand in hand with IT governance. So you want the solutions platform to provide you governance, federation, and security policies that allow you to achieve this balance. Now, I have to admit that I'm using some terms here. Componentization, composition semantics, which are rather fancy. And I want to take this slide here and then translate it into terms that you're familiar with. So allow me to transition this slide into what this would look like in the context of SharePoint. So the key idea behind this slide, of course, is that SharePoint provides the benefits that we talked about in the previous slide. So the case I'm making is that SharePoint is this composite solutions platform because it enables the capabilities that I talked about in the previous slide. So when I talked about components and containers, I was talking about things such as web parts and workflows, which can then be hosted inside sites. When I talked about composition semantics, I was talking about the metadata that you can associate with a SharePoint artifact, which allows a container such as site to dynamically load such an artifact. When I was talking about the composition user experience, I was talking about tools like SharePoint Designer, which allow not just the developers, but the business users to combine these assets. And then when I talked about IT governance and user empowerment and the balance between the two, I was talking about the policies and the governance frameworks that SharePoint enables for you to achieve this balance. And one concrete example of this idea would be the Power Pivot service that was introduced as part of SharePoint 2010, where a business user could launch Power Pivot on their desktop, and create a Power Pivot model by combining data that they may have access to. And once they have created certain graphs or charts which are useful to others in the organization, they can then publish their Power Pivot model to SharePoint. And by virtue of the publication process, SharePoint is taking the Power Pivot model that exists on their desktop and then converting them into server-side OLAP databases. So now the IT can put policies around this, put governance around these OLAP databases. So as you can see, what started out as a user activity, which the users were empowered to create these Power Pivot models, ended up as a server-side resource which can then be managed by IT. And this is the balance that I was talking about between IT governance and user empowerment.